your mindset. So just remember, food is awesome. Food is the only and best source of micronutrients to let your system work well. Good fats are very, very, very good for you. I tell people, eat as much cold pressed extra virgin olive oil as you can. That stuff is so good for you. It's so anti-inflammatory. It makes everything work better. Think that every time you eat something, think of what each bite is going to do for your body, for your health, for your brain, for your happiness. And then conversely, if you're eating crap, think about what that's doing to you. If you really love the taste of a donut and you love that greasy feel it leaves in your mouth when you're done eating it, knock yourself out, but just remember every bite, just tell yourself what it's doing to you. But don't stress yourself out if you can't resist the temptation once or twice. The main thing you can do is to cook. The best thing for food mindset, in other words, is cooking real foods at home with real ingredients with your friends and family, because that gives you the social connection that is also uniquely necessary by humans for optimization of everything. And then just maintain self-control when you are exposed to fake foods. You're not going to be able to maintain self-control if you're sleep deprived. In fact, the sleep deprived population craves these fake foods more than the non-sleep deprived population. So you are setting yourself up for failure and setting yourself up for a poor self-control situation if you are sleep deprived. So I don't know if you've noticed, but all of this kind of swirling around and linking together. Sleep, time-restricted eating, insulin, glucose control, so on and so forth. They all work together to make each other better or worse, depending on which direction you go. So appetite control, this is how Ozempic and all those drugs work. They basically control the appetite. So it's portion control with chemicals. Bariatric surgery is portion control with a mechanical zip up of the stomach. So you can harness your brain's power and the circadian rhythm power and get your own appetite control without needing all of that. And I don't know if you guys know this, and I don't want to be too controversial, but there's some literature out there that shows that the suicide rates are higher in people about 5-6 years after bariatric surgery, and they're starting to get isolated reports about suicide ideation or suicidal thoughts in the population taking GLP-1s. So there's always a side effect with a human chemical that's created to solve a human problem that we created, right? Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying they're not good drugs. I prescribe them to people a lot, but I just want you to keep it in mind. Anything you can do yourself for yourself with just some micronutrients and supplements, a good real food, that's always going to be better. Anytime you add protein and fiber to a meal that has carbs, it helps a lot. It slows down the digestion, it feeds the gut biome and the large intestine, it limits the amount of glucose that hits the bloodstream at once so you don't get those spikes. So adding protein and fiber to any carb that you're eating is always going to be helpful. And hydration, we already talked about. Taking the apple cider vinegar before a carb-heavy meal, walking after, we already talked about. We've talked about the proper circadian rhythm. On the right are all of the obesity drugs that are currently, pretty sure these are all approved, yes, currently approved and allowed by the FDA for the indication of insulin resistance / obesity, okay? They all have good things, they all have bad things. And I have recommended or prescribed almost all of them to people. Because some people struggle. I've actually, what's not on this list, I've actually put people on medications used to help reduce sugar cravings. Very low dose naltrexone is one example. Certainly very off-label.